Hi, my name is Fashion. Welcome to New York City Weave Studio, and today we are doing some Q&A for you, some questions that you guys have had from watching Fabhair.com's Academy videos. First question is, what does it mean to sew the weft under the braid first row and then over the braid second row? This is a question based off a video that was previously in Fabhair.com's Academy, where I basically did an install where the girl could pull her hair up into a ponytail. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out after you watch this video so you're going to know what this answer means to this question. So basically, what that means is to be able to pull the hair up into a ponytail, you want to make sure that all the braids don't show. So your first track, when you sew it on, is going to be underneath the braid, like that. You're going to sew it all the way around, and then the second track that you sew is going to be on top of that braid. Okay, so the first track you're sewing is going to be underneath the braid, and the second track you sew is going to be on top of that braid. And that's it. That's your two first perimeter tracks. So then once you pull it up into a ponytail, it'll be nice and smooth and seamless, and you won't see any lumps or bumps or see any tracks. So that's why it's two perimeter tracks. Okay? Second question is, I would love to be able to put my hair up into a ponytail, but would it be a problem because the top of my hair is short? That's no, it would not be a problem. The problem with putting hair up into a ponytail would be if the back of your hair was short. Then you wouldn't have any hair back here to cover up over the tracks to pull it up into a ponytail. Up here, if your hair is short, all you have to do is use a closure piece, and then you wouldn't have to worry about the length of your hair. Can you pull your hair up into a ponytail using a closure piece? The answer is yes. So that's going to be how you get rid of that challenge if you have short hair on top. Next question, when I sew a weave in, am I supposed to go through the track of the weave or under the track of the weave? The answer to that question is you're going to go under the track. You should not go through the track when you're sewing in an install because you compromise the track too much. The track of the hair, or the weft, whichever you call it, you don't want to keep breaking that up by putting needles in it all the time. You do want to put it through when you first start sewing at the very tip of it to secure it so it doesn't pop up. But as you go along, you want to definitely go underneath the weft or track instead of through it. Going through it will compromise the track and it'll make the hair shed. Next question is, where do you get your thread from instead of cotton kind? What kind of thread is best to use? I am in love with nylon thread. Where do you get it? You have to search the internet for it, or you can find it in your local beauty supply store. It's kind of hard to come by, but you want to make sure that you use the high strength grade. So you could probably Google high strength grade nylon thread and find some great thread, or you can go to a sewing store and they have plenty for you. Next question is, are the first two tracks separate cuts or one track just flipped over? The first two tracks are separate cuts. When you're using, say, two bundles of hair for an install, you only want to cut the track in minimal places. So your first two tracks are cut, and then you're going to go all the way through and flip your tracks, and then the last track that you put at the top is cut. So when you're all done and you're ready to take the hair out and reuse it, which you can do with Fabhair, you'll have 1, 2, 3, about 5 pieces, 5 to 6 pieces. You don't want to chop your hair up into a bunch of pieces, but you do want to cut it because if you flip it over here at the corners, it's going to create a bulge, and the last thing that you want is a bulge. You want the hair to be nice and flat and seamless. So you're going to cut your first two tracks, one side to the other, cut, one side to the other, cut. Then you're going to go through and fold your tracks all the way to the top. Then when you get to the top, you're going to cut your last track, and it's going to be in that U shape. And that's the answer. Why wasn't a net used? When I did the video for Fabhair, when I did the full install where she was pulling it up into a ponytail, that particular client, she doesn't like nets. So it's basically going to be how you talk to your client when you do a consultation. Some people love nets, some people don't. I particularly love nets, but that particular client, she doesn't really like nets, so I did not use one on her. But if you want to use one on your client or your friend or whoever's hair you're doing, it's going to be basically the client's preference. So you might make sure that you ask them if they'd like one or not, because some people don't like it. Can you do this kind of weave on hair that is short? Absolutely. To be able to pull the hair up into a ponytail, You can do it on hair maybe 2 inches long and still get a good effect. Obviously, done it on longer hair, it does look better, but you certainly can do the same look or style on somebody who has about 2 to 3 inches, no less than 2, because then it's too challenging for the person to make it look good when it's up all the time. They would have to be working on it a lot to keep their own short hairs up. So you want to make sure the client at least has 2 to 3 inches of hair to be able to do install with a ponytail. You guys love that ponytail look, don't you? How do you take care of your leave out? I love this question. How do you take care of your leave out? So to take care of your leave out, and what that person means is that you don't want to burn this part up flat ironing it all the time, styling your weave. So what you're going to do is on a daily basis, you're going to take this section before you start to style. You're going to clip it out of the way. You're basically going to treat your hair and the weave hair as two separate entities. So you're going to move your hair out of the way, clip it up. You're going to style your weave. You might have your iron on 450, 500. I know some of you guys turn the temps up really high, which is fine on this weave hair. So once you style the weave and you get the curls going and it's the way that you want it to be, that one last time when you're ready to style your own hair, you're going to take your iron, you're going to turn it down to maybe 200 to 250. You're going to wait for it to cool. So at that time you might want to brush your teeth, put on lipstick, or all the other girly things that we do. Then once it cools down, then that's when you're going to put the iron on your own hair. You're going to just pull your hair up, flat iron this part once, just like this. You're going to pull this hair up, flat iron it once, and then you're going to split it and comb it over top of the weave and position it the way you want to. Now, because women, we're never satisfied. So we always want to go back in for that last little touch-up. I want you to still move your own hair out of the way. Do that last little touch-up. Maybe the curl is not perfect the way you want it. You always want to still move your hair out of the way because you don't want to create the heat damage on this part and then it's too short to leave it out and now you have to go with full sew-ins or closure pieces. So that's what you're going to do to make sure that you don't burn your leave out up. And you're also going to use a heat protectant on it. Okay? Next question is, what are the recommendations for how often you should wash the hair with your install? That's going to depend upon your activity. If you're going to the gym, you sweat from your scalp. If you're rolling around on the beach, if you're swimming in chlorine water, each person's activity is going to depend upon how often you wash your own hair. I personally do not sweat from my scalp a lot, so when I go to the gym, my braids aren't wet still, so it's not a lot I have to worry about, but everybody's different, and I do have some clients who sweat heavily from their scalp. So if you are one of those people that have a lot of sweat from your scalp, or you're highly active, or you're running on the beach, or you're swimming in chlorine water, you want to at least do it maybe once a week. If you're not super active and you don't sweat from your scalp, and you're somebody like me, once every 2 weeks is more appropriate. And I do know some people that go once every 3 weeks. So next question, what products are good to use with weave? I like a plethora of products. I don't stick to one brand of products the whole line through. Some brands, I like the shampoo, I don't like the conditioner. I like the serum, I don't like the hairspray. So what I personally like to use, and I don't get paid for these endorsements, I like hairspray, Sebastian, hair Shaper Plus by Sebastian. For serum, I like Silk Infusion by Chi. For a heat protectant, I like Iron Guard by Chi, and I also like Garnier Fructis has a great heat protectant as well. Sulfate-free shampoos are amazing. For conditioner, I really am in love right now with silicone mix. I really like to use olive oil when I'm removing an install. I love this product. It's called Topic. And Topic, everybody in TV uses Topic. And once you are familiar with the product, you're going to recognize those people who are using it. So Topic basically is a hair filler. And if you have like a thin hairline or your hair is kind of thin and you don't want your weave to show, Topic is going to be that product that's going to give you a fuller hair because it's like a little powdery fiber and you spray it on your hair and it just makes your hair look fuller and thicker. I love to use baby powder when the hair looks greasy instead of dry shampoos because baby powder is cheap. And I just sprinkle some in my brush and I comb through my hair and it gives the hair and the weave life. And yeah, that's about it. I'm really a minimalist when it comes to products, and the less products that you put on your hair and the weave hair is better. I like to more or less take care of my hair and scalp from the inside out, so taking a hair vitamin with a high dose of biotin, which is good for hair, skin, and nails, and or a fish oil pill. So those are the products. Next question is, do you recommend frontals? Frontals are great if your hairline needs a frontal, or if you're trying to put all your hair away but you still want it to look natural. Those are going to be your lace pieces, your lace front pieces. I'm not crazy about the crown one that goes from your ear all the way over to the other side to your ear, but if your particular hairline calls for it, then yes, I'll say go ahead and use a frontal. What texture is best for wet and wavy looks? The texture that is going to work with your particular hair type is going to be what's best. So if you have a really tight curl pattern, then you're going to find a weave that has a tight curl pattern. If your curl pattern on your own hair is loose, then you're going to find whatever is matching up to your own particular hair pattern. I particularly like this curly brand from Fabhair because it's such a low luster and it doesn't look shiny, so it's not going to look fake and wiggy, if you understand what I'm saying. With this texture, even if your hair is straight or relaxed, there's still a way that you can manipulate your hair to match this texture, and that'll come in videos down the line. But this is a great hair. You can swim with it. You can not have to comb it every day. You don't really even have to comb it with a comb or a brush. You really just want to like finger through it to style it when you're styling it. But I really like this texture. What I like to do before I install it though is cut the band off, wash it, stretch it out, and let it lay flat, and that way the natural curl pattern bulks up in it. And then when I install it, it looks nice and natural, like it's growing from my scalp. So make sure you check out the curly textures on fabhair.com. What products are best for wet and wavy hair? Right now I've been using this product by Motions. It's called hair pudding. It comes in a gold container, and the pudding, what you need to do when you first install curly hair is that you need to kind of build up that product on the hair so it keeps a lot of moisture. And I feel like the pudding from the Motions hairline keeps the moisture in it that you need for humidity, if you're going to be in the sun a lot. People don't understand that sun will dry your hair out a lot. So these curly textures, you really want to keep moisture in it. But you don't want to, when I say moisture, I don't mean wet it. You don't want to wet this hair every day. When I say moisture, I mean like lotion. You don't have to use a lot of it. You just want to use like maybe 2 quarter size full, and then just really run it through the ends of the hair, and you'll be satisfied with that. Why is it different color shades on my bundles? So if you've ordered hair from Fabhair and their hair is virgin hair from donors, meaning that these people in India or wherever are going to the temple and they're donating their hair. So it's really going to depend upon what color was that person's hair when they donated it. So when you get your hair, you're going to get, I'll say, a 1B in hair color. But it might be a slight variation of what the color actually looks like. So I have 3 bundles here, but the tiniest bit of variation, like say this one might be a little darker than this one, but when you blend them all together, it still gives you one seamless shade of brown. So don't let that throw you off. You really want to have a few different shades of brown. Like my hair, I have 3 bundles in my hair. But you can't look at me and say, oh, she's got 3 different colors. No, once you blend them all together, they all look amazing. And this hair colors really well, so if you choose to color it, go ahead and color it. But you're basically going to get a 1B in color when you order from Fabhair. And it's all virgin hair, and it just depends upon what color that donor's hair was at time of donation. So that's that answer. One question that I got that a lot of people asked is, why was the client whose hair that I was doing for the ponytail install, who already had long hair, why was she getting a weave? We live in an instant microwave society. And yes, her hair is long, but she wanted it to be longer. She wanted it to be thicker. My hair is a good length too, but I also want longer, thicker hair right now. I don't want to have to wait for my hair to grow. The average person's hair grows 1/4 of an inch a month. So for me to have hair to where I have it right now, I would be 2 or 3 years out. That's like 6 inches in a year. No, I want it today. I want it to happen right now. And maybe sometimes I want to wear it the length that I want to wear it, which is my own hair. It's just basically about what you want. She wanted to have longer hair and thicker hair immediately. She was actually moving out of the state and wanted her install right then. She didn't want to move and wait for her hair to grow long. This is why people who already have hair get a weave. They just want instant satisfaction. And there you have it. So the next question, which is very controversial, people wanted to know what this whole protective styling was when it comes to braiding down and sewing in a weave. So protective styling is basically you put your own hair away and you put the weave on. So now your own hair isn't curled on, you heat tools, products, rain, wind, snow, all this outside elements can damage your hair as well. Environmental damage can do a lot of wear and tear on your hair, as well as products, the way you eat, a lot of different things. So people who have hair want to put it away, and they call it protective styling, and that's what we do with a sew-in braid down pattern, sew the weave on. So a lot of people wanted to know about braiding and does it damage your hair? The answer is it depends upon who's braiding it. So if someone's braiding your hair and it's painful and you're flinching and you feel it and you have to take medicine to get over the pain, those aren't the braids you want. I myself am known to have a very light hand when it comes to braiding. None of my clients complain about my braids. They actually are very surprised. If somebody has been to me for the first time, they're very surprised at the fact that they don't feel any pain. I love doing people who have never had a weave before, because at least they can use what I've done on them as now a threshold to understand what they're supposed to feel like, that they shouldn't be uncomfortable, that they shouldn't be in pain. Braid down should happen in a certain way and direction to where it's not pulling off your edges. The last thing a weave is supposed to do is pull your edges or make you lose hair. Weaves don't do that if they're done properly. If they're not done properly, yes, they can be very damaging. So just make sure the person who's installing your weave has the knowledge and education, a license. If it's a friend of yours, make sure that you tell them. If they're braiding too tight, I mean, you have a mouth, use it. If your braids hurt, say something. Hey, ouch, that doesn't feel good. It's normal. So does a weave damage your hair? No, not at all. I've been wearing weaves for probably 15 years or more, and I have a lot of hair. But I want to thank you guys for listening to the Q&A. Hopefully, I've answered all your questions. If you have more, comment on the video. We'll answer them in another segment some other time. I do want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch the videos. Hopefully, you're learning as much stuff as you can. If you have video requests, absolutely leave those on the comment section as well. I really appreciate the support that you've been giving myself and Fabhair, because it's a really good company, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that when you purchase hair from them or products or tools, that you know that you're getting the best in quality that Hair Extensions has to offer. Yes, I am from the TV show Jerseylicious. A lot of you have asked that as well. That is me. My name is Fashion. And I have a studio in Midtown Manhattan now. I've moved my location from White Plains down to Midtown Manhattan. And you guys can contact me anytime you want to. I'm readily available. I don't hide. My website is nycweavestudio.com. And of course, you can check me out on fabhair.com. Click Academy. I also love the Brazilian textures, so you could click on the Brazilian textures and shop their hair as much as you want to. It's great hair and it's a great company, and that's why I have decided to partner with them and bring you as much education as I can. Hopefully you're learning a lot. You guys should really tag us in some stuff where you've tried some videos. If you guys want to tag them on Instagram, Fabhair NYC. Find them there. My Instagram name is Cheetah is the New Black. I'd love to see some of your pictures, so share, and I'll see you guys next time on the next video. Bye.